This is Lisa. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
That's good. So, um, I was checking out your music, and I don't really have much on the bio of you guys. So, can you give me a little bit of history of Convalescence?
Yeah. It was kind of started as a side project from a few musicians around Toledo, Ohio. Everybody was kind of like just in a bad spot or maybe not quite taking off in other bands and stuff. So we decided to, a bunch of us kind of got a house together and stuff and decided to pay everything in our lives with basically, let's start the side project band and go play on weekends and stuff. And it just kind of, as soon as we started releasing music, started getting attention all over the country and stuff. And, we started touring almost immediately. And it just kind of became everybody's full-time thing. And over the years, people have had to leave because of, life happens kind of reasons and stuff. So, we've gone through a lot of band members and stuff, but, it's been picking up a lot in the last couple of years. We've had a pretty much steady lineup, the last few years and started touring internationally finally and just kind of made a career out of it.
So, what are your musical influences?
It's kind of all over the place for the band. I know for me personally, like, I decided I wanted to play metal and go tour in front of people when I saw the Rock in Rio DVD from Iron Maiden when I was like a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like all about it. Like I just saw that live DVD and was like, wow, I want to do that.
Right.
So me personally, it was that. And then growing up in the scene here in Toledo, there was a lot of great bands, metal bands here in the scene that, growing up, I was like, man, I want to play at those clubs. I want to play with those bands and stuff like that. And just kind of had to work my way up to that. But for me, it was definitely that. It was definitely Iron Maiden. The first time I saw them playing in front of, I don't know how many tens of thousands of people at that show, but that's why I started wanting to do this.
Now, how did you come up with a name of Convalescence? I know what it means.
Yeah. Basically, we came up with that name just because basically the meaning, the healing process meant a lot to everybody in the band at the time because everybody was like either homeless or had some kind of like drug or drinking problem or something like that, or just wasn't in a good spot when we started this band. So, and the whole purpose of this band was to kind of fix that,
Right.
So it just seemed fitting at the time. I mean, years and years and years later, it's not necessarily that same situation, but when it first started, when we first named the band and said, this is what we're going to do, it just was kind of fitting at the time.
Now, there's a lot of talented deathcore metal bands out there, and a lot of them don't make it. In Convalescence, you've been lucky to tour with a lot of amazing bands like OTEP, Testament, so on and so forth.
Right.
And you've had a growing worldwide fan base. What do you think made you stand out? Was it you think it was like the being at the right place at the right time, or connections, or
honestly, I think it's just work ethic. A lot of bands put their stuff out on the internet, hope for the best, and they go tour, here and there. We've been that band that's always on the road for years now, that we have been spending 7, 8, 9 months a year on the road all the time. And we're putting the work in, and we're going out and playing in front of people every single night, as many nights as we can a year. And I think that's what's kind of established us as like, it's just a band that can get on these tours and stuff. And, we've had great management from Chris Bianchi over at CB Entertainment as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped us out a lot, and he's kind of really, taught me a lot and steered us in the right direction and everything. So, I mean, he's a big reason as well. But our band has just pushed really, really hard and worked really, really hard to get where we are right now.
Well, I know your sound is a little bit different, and you have a girl that plays keyboards.
Yeah.
Which was kind of amazing because you never see that, not in this genre anyways. So what made you want to do that?
Actually, we didn't used to have a keyboardist. Our first 2 records, we did not have a keyboardist. And when we were on tour through San Antonio, in 2013, I met Katie. Her local band was actually opening up for us on tour, and we saw her play keyboard, and I was like, wow, that would be really cool to incorporate. And we started talking and stuff like that, and it ended up turning into her joining the band. And our album, The Process, that came out in 2014, ended up being the first record that we ever did that was, with keyboards and stuff like that. And she stuck around the whole time. I mean, she's been a huge part of the band since then, and it's been great working with her.
Now, what really happened on that OTEP tour? Why were you kicked off? It was going to come up. I had to ask.
Everybody asks, and we like to kind of be a little bit quiet about it. We said what we said. We got, the last straw of that tour was basically, our merch girl was accused of selling merch while OTEP was playing, which was against the rules on the tour.
Stupid.
We're not supposed to.
But anyways, go ahead.
whether they're stupid or not, it's OTEP's tour and it's her rules, and that's how it goes. I mean, you just got to respect that. So, I in no way, disrespect OTEP as an artist, and that I still consider her band and crew friends of mine and all that kind of stuff. And, it was a fantastic tour, and it's a shame that it had to end the way it did.
Right.
But I mean, we've just been kind of trying to move past that. I mean, it was a bad situation, it was a misunderstanding, and there's a few misunderstandings on that tour, which we spoke about in the initial press release that we gave.
Yeah.
And we, it was better that we left the tour. And, it was not our decision. She kicked us off the tour, but, cause we personally on our end, we would have stuck it out just to be there for our fans.
Right.
But I mean, it was a situation where it just wasn't working out the way that things were handled and everything on that tour. So, on our part, no hard feelings or anything. Mm-hmm. We're just kind of moving on in our own direction. And I know they're doing the same thing.
Well, hopefully you can,
but
get on another tour
we just
together and everything be all copacetic,
I highly doubt that's going to happen, but, but on the same note, we kept quiet about the whole everything. We made our press release on why we weren't on the tour anymore, and then we shut up because we didn't want to talk any shit. We didn't want to be that band that was in all the headlines trying to have a feud with somebody. Like, we wanted to let our fans know this is why we're not on this tour anymore. We're sorry we can't be there. Like, that was it.
Right.
So it just kind of blew up a lot bigger than we even expected it to when we initially made that statement.
Well, yeah, even in Houston, all the musicians in the music scene were really upset about it. We're talking a lot about it. It was all over the place.
Ron, our bass player, is from Houston, so I know he's got a lot of close friends down there and stuff.
Right.
So
let's talk about your latest music.
All right. This Is Hell, our most recent album. We recorded it up in Cleveland at Vibe Studios with John Burke, and he's done our last 3 records. We really like working with him. He's always got some super outside the box kind of ideas and stuff that I really like to incorporate into what we do. Just kind of stuff you don't hear every day kind of things. So, I like to incorporate that in our stuff, and it's cool to have somebody that's such a professional in different genres to take a listen to your metal record and say, hey, well, I got this idea. We did it on this pop album, or we did this on this rap album, or whatever, and we're going to incorporate it into this riff or this breakdown or this vocal pattern or whatever, and it's going to sound great. And you always kind of look at them and go, man, I don't know what you're getting at. Like, I'll try it, but I feel like this is going to be awful. And then you hear it, and he actually plays it back for you, and you're like, wow, that actually does sound really good. And so that's why we've continued to work with him, because he just kind of hears some stuff that we don't. And then on top of that, we had Chris Donaldson from Cryptopsy, a good friend of ours, mix and master it. Sounds great.
Yeah.
We're happy to be working with Unique Leader on the release of it and everything, and it's been doing well. It's been getting out there and everything, so we're really happy with it, and we feel that it's our best album so far. But maybe that's just because it's new. I don't know.
Where can fans get your latest CD?
Literally pretty much anywhere. iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Best Buy, Target, FYE, indie merch through Unique Leader, our website, Bandcamp. Pretty much if it sells metal albums, they have our album. So.
And you got upcoming tour dates? Where you gonna be?
Yeah, we have a ton. We're doing a show here Tuesday up in Michigan, with Dying Fetus and Dired as Murder, Enterprise Earth. And then we hit the road with Your Chance to Die for the Monument of Misery tour. It's a headlining tour for us. We're doing the first 2 weeks with Your Chance to Die, including Toledo Death Fest that we're headlining this year. And then we have a bunch of dates on our own for a little bit in the U.S. We have a big show in Michigan with Carnifex, Oceano, and Winds of Plague. We go to Canada for the first time. Hopefully they let us in this time. The last time we went up there, they detained us at the border and didn't treat us so good and sent us home.
Wow.
So hopefully they let us in this time, but we do have a whole headlining tour with Becomes Astral booked up there. And then when we get back, which will be towards the end of May, we have some headlining dates, but a little week worth of them, just to get us back to pretty close to where we're from. But we also have a show in Spokane, Washington during that time with the Black Dahlia Murder and Homewrecker, and we're opening for the Devastation on the Nation tour in Detroit, Aborted and Psychroptic and Ingested and everybody. And then we go to Canada again for 3 days with Aluka and In the Act of Violence so we can headline the Battleground Music Festival. So we're out from pretty much next week until beginning of June. I think it's 66 shows or 54 shows in the 66 days or something like that.
Wow.
So should be fun.
Sounds like a lot of traveling. And you're going to be in Houston April 6th at BFE Rock Club.
Yeah, we played BFE years ago, and I'm excited to go back and play there again.
So I would just want to give a shout out to BFE and Frankie Aluto and Bill Thompson, Shane Ryan, Fish Thomas, which is, Mighty Fish Entertainment, and
right.
Paul Shadow with Divine Right Live Entertainment, and your sponsors, Virus Vodka, Cypress Vodka, Misunderstood Inc., And I believe you're going to be at Misunderstood Inc. earlier that day, meeting fans, and going to be on live with Metal Moose and me.
Yep,
So,
I believe so. That's what I was told.
Yes, so it sounds like you've got a lot of touring and a lot of good shows coming up.
Yeah, we try to do that every year. Try to make it bigger and better every year, and try to improve the stage show and where we're going, and hit some new places every year that we haven't quite been before, and then still try to go hit all the old places that we really like going. So Houston being one of them.
Yay. All right, well, thanks for taking time out to sit down with me and talk about what's going on with you guys, and I'll see you at the show.
All right, see you there. Thank
All right,
you.
thanks. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Yep, bye.